So till now, we have gone through chapter 1 and chapter 2, where in chapter 1 we just went through the introduction, right? So why we use it and all those reasons why we use it, and what are the properties of Python. So then in chapter 2 we did the software setup and the shortcuts. You do know, right? We have too many shortcuts up there, which help the programmer to write code easily and in a readable format. So after that, we just jumped into data types, right? So we studied about all the different types of data. So basically, we can just recall, right? Numerical data type was the first when we started learning integer type data, float type data, complex, hexadecimal, and octal. Then we just learned about the type conversion, like from float to integer and back from integer to float, or any complex to float or string to float. So this is known as type conversion. Okay, if somebody asks you what is type conversion, you should answer that it's kind of a process of converting one type to another. Then we moved on. Once we learned about all the numerical types, then we moved on to learn about sequences, or the sequence data type, or it is known as collections as well, where we have a series of characters which acts as a data type. Like string is a series of characters. List is a series of string, or a collection of string, or collection of integers. Similarly, in contrast, you have tuple or tuple, which is actually a list, but we cannot do any amendment or any changes like delete, remove, or add. It's kind of frozen list. So then we also learned about set and frozen set, right? Set was something that we deal with unique elements. If you pass repetitive elements, you cannot save it. So similarly, frozen set is something where you cannot do all the remove or add functions. So then we learned about range. Range is something like it has an initial number, final number, and then the steps, similar to slicing. So in that case, we use usually for loop to represent all the numbers. So with the range, help of range, we can display, like if there is a question, to display all the even numbers from 0 to 100, then you can use range to find it. So this is one of the applications. Then there are bytes and bytes array, where we have discussed that this particular type usually accepts data or the integers from 0 to 255, where we represent the IP address. We usually represent the IP address between 0 to 255. In that case, we just use byte or refer it with a byte array. Array is similar kind of a list where only bytes, it is a list of bytes, you can say. When you want to store some collections of bytes variable, then we use a byte array. Then we talked about maps. Maps, like map means key value pair, right? What key is unique, and corresponding every key there should be a value. So here in Python, we usually name it as dictionary, where we store all the values with the key and its value pair format. So for example, if you have a BU ID, so if we save any profile information of a person, we usually use dictionary, because in that we can write name, Stephen, or Boston University. Like if you are in a Boston University, it will be named as, stored as that. So every data or age is something, or 30 or 40 age, then date of birth, you have a certain data. So everything is paired in pair format, which all has its key and its corresponding value. So if you want to extract like date of birth, like, so you can just call the date of birth key and return the value. It will always print the value corresponding to that key. So each of these types of data have their own functions. Like string has length, or uppercase, lowercase. Like list also has append. So like that, add, append, remove. Every data type has their own set of functions which you need to remember to access the data. Then finally, we learned about the special types, where we have learned about none. When there is nothing assigned, or any values, no value is assigned to a variable, then none is auto assigned. Then comes escape character. Escape characters are those like when we usually introduce a new line, then we use /n, \n, and for a tab, \t to give a space. So we use escape sequence characters. Then we discussed about that you know, we discussed about del, delete operator. It's kind of uh, del. Then you give the list or any array with the index, then it will delete that particular element from that index of the list. Like del lst of 0 in square bracket, then it will delete the first element of the list. So it's an inbuilt Python function or a kind of special type where if you just write del and mention the list with its argument address or index, it will delete that. And it is not specific to certain types. It can be applicable to every delete of list, set, or anything you want, which are mutable. That means add and delete functions are applicable. In that only the del function will work. Then we discussed about constants, where, for example, where we don't want the value of those variable to change, like pi. We know pi is 3.14 or 22/7. So in that case, we just mention it with a capital letter P and I. So that other programmers know that we have considered this as a fixed value and should not be changed. So these are pretty much the overall summary of data types which we have learned till now. So first chapter was introduction of why Python we use. Second was like software setup and making up the environment and installing PyCharm. Third was the data types, where we have learned about different data types and how they handle the different kinds of values. Now we will move on to chapter 4. That's operators. Now quickly we will move on to that. Then we also discussed about the identifiers and naming conventions as we went through the data types, like username or the variable name should not start with a number or numeric value, or it should not contain any special character like $, but you can write underscore in between 2 words if you have. So, and if you have underscore in both the sides, like init is kind of a keyword, you are trying to mention it as a keyword which has fixed value. So that's how it is. So now move on to the next topic, that's operator, that we will learn. This is the chapter 4 of the course. So as we know and learned in mathematics, there are arithmetic operators which we already know about. Here something new that we are going to learn is assignment operators, comparison operators, and logical operators. So there are actually 4 types of operators. With the use of this, we can do all the calculations and logics building. So we will discuss each one of them one by one. So first we will move on to the arithmetic operator. So in arithmetic operator, there are around 7 types of operations that can be done. For example, when we do addition here, let's say in one variable we took 5 and the others 2. If we write x plus y, if we print the result variable, it will give the output as 7. So simple addition. Similarly for subtraction also, we just do a x minus y and we'll get the output as 3. For multiplication here we use star. So star means here product of 2 values, x and y gives 10. For division also, we just divide it, but we get the decimal value as well. So it's a float type. It's not an integer anymore. It returns float if you are not mentioning anything. So there are other operators also, which is known as percentage, which is called modulus operator, which returns you the remainder. For example, if you are dividing 5 modulus 2, it will give you 1, because 1 is the remainder. And for exponent, we use double star. Instead, in product, we use single star, but in exponent, double star. Exponent is like 5 star 2 will give you 5 square. 5 to the power 2. 5 square is 25. So that will be the result of exponent. And then comes the last is the float division. Float division is something where you will the program will return the floor value of the decimal. That is the lowest integer value of a decimal number. For example, 5 floor division of 2 will return you 2. It won't return 0.5. It will just give the integer value of 2. So if you are dividing in a program, if you want two numbers and you want the result, two results, like one result has the decimal part and one has only the integer part, then in that case you just use the division operator to get the decimal part or the entire answer in the decimal part. And if you want only the integer part, just use double slash, and that is double division or float division, like we discussed. X equal to 5, y equal to 2. Okay, so result equal to x plus y. Print result. Now if you run this, see 7, and the high came from here. If I'm removing that, let's run it once more. See, the answer is 7. So similarly, I'm using the shortcut Control D to copy paste similar lines. So here if I'm writing minus, see, this is coming 3. If I'm writing multiplication here, it will come 21. Oh no, 5 2s are 10. Yeah, 5 into 2 is 10. And then we have exponent function, double. Then we have one division. Then the last one is floor division. So we'll just check after running if we are getting all the correct answers. Yeah, for addition, 5 plus 2 is 7, 5 minus 2 is 3, 5 multiplied by 2 is 10, 5 to the power 2 or the exponent double star is 25. And just if you just divide it, you will get the value with the decimal part. So it's a float type. Now when you do a floor double division, you get the integer value. Okay, so we'll move on to the next one. That's assignment operator, I guess. Let's see the next topic. Okay, so we'll move on to the next one, that is assignment operator. Assignment operator is the one where we use here. Assignment is actually the equal to is known as the assignment operator. So if you are assigning a value to someone, so we usually use equal to assign something. Like if we are assigning x equal to 5, that means I am assigning a value of 5 to the variable x, or that identifier x. So if I am assigning something, I need to write equal to or use equal to symbol. So that is why assignment operator will contain equal to in all the operators. So in this case, if equal to is used to assign a value. So if for example, if in the first case a equal to 10, if I'm printing a, so it will show 10, right? That's because assignment operator we used, and we have assigned the value of a to 10. Then we have a next one that's called there are different representation of assignment operator, like find a plus equal to 10. Now what will be the result here? If I'm writing print a, so you'll get a different result here. See, you're getting 20. So what does this mean? Here, if I am commenting this line with a hash and showing you what it actually means, a plus equal to 10 means a equal to a plus 10. This is the meaning. This is the meaning of this expression. It is the shorthand form. This is how we represent. If you see this equation, it means a equal to a plus 10. Right. So we have already assigned 10 to this value a. If you are using this, if I am running this expression, so a is already 10. As you see, it has been assigned in line 354. So if I have 10 and I'm adding 10, so the final result will be 20. So it's kind of a container. If you're taking a container and then you're taking out, you already have the container with a pre-filled value of 10. From that container, you are just picking up that 10, adding one more 10 to it, making it 20, and then putting it back to that same container. So it's kind of that way. Okay, so similarly, just if you change the operands, a minus equal to 10. See.
We should have 0.
Let's see. See, it's 10.
Why are you having 10?
Because at this stage, see, they are.
You already have, you considered 20 you had there.
Yeah, it won't, because I am using the same variable, right?
Yeah.
It is running according to that execution line by line, interpreted language.
Exactly.
So that is why they do it. If I write it b, then it will be 0. Let's try once more, b equal to 10, right? B minus equal to 10. Print b. So I'm printing b, it will come 0. See, the print function, the result is 0. So you just saw the difference between the two variables, right? A and b, and the behavior, how it works. Yeah. So this is same, right? We then multiply the same thing, right? Now we are trying to do it with a equal to a multiply equal to 10. So print a is 10.
So 100.
Oh yeah, let's see, 100. Here it was 20.
Now you bring it back to 10.
Yeah, I brought it back to 10.
Minus,
then I multiply.
Yeah, it's okay.
So now that at this page it is 100, just consider a's value, the last one which is showing on the right side.
Okay, so keep the track.
Yeah, a divide equal to 10. I'm writing back. See, it's 10.0. See, since there is no, it's completely divisible, still it will be converted into float because I'm using this.
Only one slash.
Yeah. Now if I want to divide, double divide using the floor operator.
You have 10, 0, 10, complete 10.
So,
well, then you have 1.
Yeah, it will have 1, and we could not understand the floor operation. So let me try with 3. Okay. So now the value is 10.0. I'm dividing with 3. What will be the decimal value? 3.333, right?
Yeah.
So, but it will only give us 3, I guess. See, oh, okay. Just because we divided a float value, that is why it is giving 3.0. Oh, and it is, we are dividing a float, so we are getting a float. If you are divided with a, integer, then you would have returned an integer. But you can see we are not getting 3.3333. You are getting 0 because that's the floor value. Now let me comment this out. Okay. Let me comment this 2 lines. Now see, at this stage it was 100, right? So when I divide it, this is an integer. I'm dividing it with 3, so it will get 33.33. Let's run it. See, in this case there is no decimal. You got the difference, right? When I am dividing a float value with an integer, I'm getting a float because it's already in decimal. Now that I removed this line, here till here it was integer, right?
No, it's giving integer values.
So it is giving integer values. It's not showing 0.0. And even the floor is working like, a double. Okay, one more thing I just missed out was modulus operator. Let me write a new one. Or maybe here. You have a equal to, till now this is a equal to 33, right? So if I'm dividing it by 2, okay, a modulus equal to 2 percentage, it gives the remainder. So what should be the answer of a?
You're dividing a?
Yeah.
By 2, right?
Yeah.
I should have
it's modulus, it's not divided, it's modulus.
What's the
percentage?
Value? Oh.
It gives the remainder. So if I'm running this, see, I'll get 1. Why? Because if you divide 33 by 2, you will get 16, right? But your remainder is 1 because it's 33.
Okay, so this value that you just passed is, is keeping what is remaining, right?
Yeah, remainder. So here you can see this percentage operator. Okay. A remainder of a division.
Okay.
This is known as modulus operator. So we have all plus, minus, addition, subtraction, Then we have multiplication, division, floor value, modulus, and exponent. Right? Exponent is also there, like a double star equal to 10. Will be a big value. Let's see.
Should be 10.
No.
Why is it 1?
Because a is 1 at this stage, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have stored the remainder, and anything to the power of 1 is always 1. 1 to the power 10 is always 1, right? This is exponent. 1 square, 1 to the power 10th.
It's 1.
Yeah, 1 to the power anything is 1, because 1 into 1 is 1. 1 into 1 into 1 is 1.
Mm-hmm.
If you write 1 into 1 into 1 multiplied by 1 10 times, if you do, still it is 1. Because at this stage, in line 376, a has been assigned a value of 1. The last value of a, or the current value of a, was 1. When you powered it by 10, then it's already 1. Let me show you. It's like a equal to a to the power 10. It's the exponent, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if a equal to 1 to the power 10, what does this mean? 1 multiplied 1 multiplied 1 multiplied 1 multiplied 1. So
Okay. You have to do it 10 times.
yeah, that's how it is.
That will still give you 1.
Yeah, that is why the answer is 1 here.
Yeah. Man, you're bringing me back on the basics, yeah. Ooh.
So
Yeah, man.
see, if I'm removing this, okay,
Mm-hmm.
so a will have value 33, I guess, right? A was 100. From here, a was 100. Then we did the floor division by 3. So 100 by 3 was 33.33. So since it was floor division operator is used, we only got the integer part, not the decimal.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at this stage, a is 33. So if I am powering 33 with 10 times, it will give a huge value. Let's try this. See.
Yeah, that's 2 by 33 10 times.
33 into 33 into 33 kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So this is known as assignment operator.
Yes,
Okay. It's the shortcut representation of that, expression. If you can write this way also, it will work. Or else you can write like this. It's not mandatory.
Mm-hmm.
See, if I am just writing it a equal to a plus 10, still it will work. It's the same thing. See, 20. Okay.
Yes,
a was 10, a 20. It's the same. You can write either like this or a plus equal to 10. I mean, if you are too lazy to type, you can just write like this. They will understand. So now we will move on to the next topic. That's comparison operator. This is also a kind of operator. Till now what we have learned arithmetic operator, where we have to do the summation, subtraction, and all the simple operations. Then we learned about assignment operator, where the equal to comes into picture. Now we will learn about the comparison operator, which are used to compare two values. So in comparison operator, we can find out examples like let me give you some examples of comparison operator. Double equal to is returns the true value if the values on either side of the operator are equal. Okay, so let's do an example. X equal to 10, y equal to 10. Now, if I am printing x double equal to y, these are the comparison operator. They will always return either true or false. That means it will always return a Boolean value, either true or false. So it's just used to compare. So if we are comparing something, we are expecting an answer as yes or no, or a true or false. That is why they don't return any value, or they don't calculate. These are very important, because if you want to write like in real time scenario, if you are building a robot, right? If I am telling the robot that good morning, I'm wishing the robot good morning, she or he, the robot, has to respond me back by wishing me good morning, you too. Okay. So they cannot just say me good night. Okay. So in that case, we usually write a program in the robot that if someone says good morning, then do this, else do something else. So in that case, we usually use comparison operator where we have to compare the responses and what we listen or what we give input to the program or the robot. Based on that, true and false, they do different operations. Kind of a flow chart thing which we usually do. Like this, if yes, then we go to that flow, or we turn to the other flow, yes, no. So since we know x and y are 10, so if we are printing x equal to y, so it is giving you true. Now if we are making it 11 or changing the number, see, it will turn to false. So it's just to compare two numbers. Not equal to we can use, right? Print x is not equal to y. See, it will be true, I guess. See, obviously x is not equal to y, right? 10, 11, both are different. So this exclamation is used to represent not. So not equal to y. So this means x is not equal to y.
We should make it true.
Yeah. Print. The next one is x is greater than y. So x is not greater than y, right? Y is greater than x. It should return false. See, it returned false. Then we have x is less than y. Here. So it returned true. Then we have less than equal to. Print x is less than equal to y. Let's see. So it's giving true. It is less than also and equal to, right? So it's true. If you have print x is greater than equal to y, say it's false. Why? X is 10. It is not neither equal to nor greater, right? If this would have been 12, it would have worked, I guess. See, the last one is true because x is greater than equal to y. Either of the two, it should be there. Either equal to, or even if I do it same, it will work. See, true. That means it should be equal to or it should be greater if it is greater than equal to. And in the not equal to is, it should not be exactly equal to that person, so it will be false. So second one is false, not equal to. Since it is equal to and we are checking whether it is not equal to, then it cannot be true, it's false. So next comes the logical operator. In logical operator, we have three types: and, or, and not. So this is also combining, it also gives you true and false, similar to comparison operator. But here what happens, we combine 2-3 things together, right? For that we need, for example, if you have to compare something, like you have a equal to 10, b equal to 20, c equal to 30, d equal to 10. Now you have to write something to come, you have to check both of them, like a is it greater than b? A is less than b. Okay, a is less than b, but I want to know the other thing as well about c and d. Then I will use and. Then c is greater than d. Okay, and one more, if I can give and a is equal to d. Let's see. So it comes true. And in case of and value, we usually take the, if we consider that if all of them are true, then only they will consider it true, otherwise they won't. Any one of them, if it doesn't satisfy the condition, it will turn to false. So in and, we have to consider each and every concept, I mean every condition. So it's kind of a combination of the comparison operator. Logical operator combines the previous kind of operator. So this is done now. Then we have if I am using if I am making this false, A is less than or greater than B. Say this condition is not true, but the other ones are true.
It is turned to false.
Yeah, but it will show if I run it. Yeah, it shows false.
Because all the conditions are not verified, right?
Yeah. That's the thing here. So now, if I'm putting OR here, this is one more operator, OR operator. Okay. OR means any one of them will, if it is true, then it's true. Did you get it? Now I'm just running it. See, it shows true.
Even if the conditions are not verified.
Yeah. No, it's OR means either of the two, any one will do or work. So in that case, see, C is greater than D, right? It is true. And A equal to D is true, right? So any one, this or this or this, any one is true, so true. If all are false, then only it will be false. See, A is not equal to D and C is less than D. Now all the three are false, right? So if I will run, then only it will show false. See, so in OR condition, if you are, I mean, if this is condition A and B and C, so if A is true and B is true, or if B is true and C is also true, then you get the answer as true. Okay. In case of AND, all three should be true, then only you will get true. So if you have something like this is the first one is false, the other two are true, you will get false. And even if you are getting the second one false, the other two true, then also false. If you get the third one false, then also false. Okay. And obviously, if you have all false, you will be more than one. I mean, more than one false, then also false. If you have these two false, then also false. Now all three false. So these can be the maximum, conditions that you can face in AND. So you can see the pattern, right? All are false. Even if only one condition is false, the entire output or the result will be false. Only if all are true, then only you can be true. You got it, right? This is AND. And now if I am turning it to OR, see. So you can see here, if I am doing OR, in this case, if it is true, it's true. If anyone is true, it's true. It's the reverse of AND. Yeah. See. So these will be true only if all of them are false, then only you will get a false value or the result. Otherwise, you will be getting true. You see, it's just the reverse of AND.
Exactly.
And see, Python is so user friendly or language friendly. See, it's easy to understand. Obviously, we use it in a common language, right? If we are having two data or two elements, if we ask that if you want this or that, we usually get an answer. Yeah, you can give me this item to me. And anyway, at least at the end of the day, we go home with one element at least. If we are asked to pick up this or this, if it is written that mandatory you have to pick both of them, either you pick both of them or don't pick anything, then we have a choice, right? Only if we are ready to accept two things, then only we should pick it up, otherwise we go empty handed. So that's kind of AND. So it's simple, right? It's understandable how it works. And then the final one is not usually we use it in the end to just reverse the case. Like if you're saying that okay, everything is true, we just make everything true. Let me make this true, A, or we'll start with 1. Let me do it with one of them. So A is less than B, right? So these are showing error. These are not format, so that is why showing error. Let me put it here. Okay. So if I'm running this, we'll get true, right? Because it is a true statement. Now, if I'm using a not operator here, not. So let's see the result. Say we can false. It just complements the result. If you are getting true, if you add not, it will make it false. Did you get it?
No, sir. Can you please repeat it?
Whatever will be the result, if you're wanting the opposite of it, like this is a true value, right? A is less than B gives you true. If you want it to be false, just add not.
Mm-hmm.
So it will give you the result as false instead of true. Now what happens is you want to check, okay, A is less than B and B is less than C. B is less than C. This is true, right?
Mm-hmm.
Both the cases true. See, we are getting true answer. Now I want it to be false. Then what I will do, I'll just write not. Inside the bracket, I'll put the entire thing. See. So I'm running it, I'll get false. See, we just reversed the answer.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we need it. In practical example is like this. If there is an employee with all the details, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we are checking if his name is John, his name is anything, and age is 20 or 30. Then just enter the website. So we are writing John's age is equal to 10 and John's name is equal to, if and the employee's name is equal to John. Then go inside the website. So we are checking and both the condition. What if we want that we have written the code, now we want that, okay, we have made a wrong decision, we should not allow someone whose name is John and his age is 10 or 20 to enter the website. Then what will we do? We just go to the code and we don't need to change anything here. Instead of changing each of them in the opposite way so as to get the condition right, we can just write a not in the front and just reverse the result. You got it? It's just for shortcut.
Yeah, I got it.
Change.
I got it.
For that purpose, I think they have invented it later on when they realized that instead of changing the entire condition, why not introduce something so that it will do it automatically for us.
Sure.
So these are the three types which we usually have. So
Okay.
of these are the operators that we have just learnt. Okay. So we have just learned this four. So first we have learned the Python introduction, then we have learned the software setup, then data types, then now we have completed operators. This was a small easy topic, so it went too fast. These are the chapters we have learned. This is chapter 4. So we'll move on to the next one, that is chapter 5. And till now, do you have any doubts?
No, till now. Okay.
Okay. Now we will learn the next one is input and output functions.